Good morning, Thailand. My name is Alex, and I have some news updates from around the land of smiles for you today, this Thursday, October 17th. Now, today we'll be talking about a brawl that erupted on the BTS, an unfortunate mistake with a Thai tattoo on a farang, and a little later we have updates on the Malaysian child trafficking scandal that is rocking that nation. But first, we'll start with our main story. Thailand is extending its suspension of the TM6 form in order to boost tourism. Thailand has extended the suspension of the TM6 arrival form for travelers until April 30th of next year to boost tourism and ease immigration bottlenecks. The suspension, which began in April 2023, applies to 16 key land and sea checkpoints and is part of the country's effort to streamline entry processes. Authorities are also developing the Electronic Travel Authorization, or ETA system, which will allow online registration for tourists, enabling smoother immigration via QR code. While the move is expected to increase tourist flow, especially from Malaysia, experts say new attractions are needed in the Deep South in order to sustain long-term growth. Well, that was just full of tongue twisters, guys. Sorry, I managed to get through it, but this is good news for anybody who likes to come in and out of Thailand. So if you're a frequent visitor to Thailand, now there's the continued, you don't have to fill out that form. I almost forgot what it was like to fill out forms going into countries until I just went to Malaysia recently, and I was like, oh, wait, hold on, I have to do this again. They have an online process as well, too, but it's still kind of long, and it's basically just filling out the form online. But, yeah. I don't know. I liked it. Every time I've been coming into Thailand recently, it's been pretty short lines, so I'll knock on wood for that. But good news for anybody who is a frequenter to the Land of Smiles. All right. On to our next story, which we have some financial news coming out of Thailand. So the Bank of Thailand has cut interest rates for the first time in 4 years. So the Bank of Thailand has cut its key interest rate for the first time in 4 years, reducing it by 25 basis points to 2.25%, following government pressure to stimulate the economy. The surprise move contrasts with economists' expectations as inflation remains low and economic growth sluggish. The Thai Chamber of Commerce welcomed the decision, hoping it would ease business costs, especially with a strong baht affecting exports. However, the Bank of Thailand Governor Setaput emphasized that the rate cuts alone won't drive significant growth, citing the need for structural reforms and caution due to high household debt levels. So it's Econ 101. If inflation is low and economic growth is low, you cut interest rates. That's a pretty standard move by any central bank that controls a currency. So by cutting interest rates, that makes it easier to borrow money, makes it easier for businesses to invest in themselves, to borrow money to invest in new businesses. Yeah, pretty standard move. Shouldn't be too surprising, but at the same time, that's only a temporary fix, right? That only can drive things in the short term. In the long term, I don't know, hopefully that development, that short-term development leads to more job creation, which can help to alleviate some of this household debt that seems to be plaguing the regular Thai population. But we'll see. It seems like a step in the right direction, at least. All right, now we've got, that's our serious news out of the way. We have some, well, I guess it is serious news, but a little bit more wacky heading up. But first, we are heading to Phuket. Now, a Phuket taxi driver hit a tourist on an airport zebra crossing. So a Thai taxi driver struck a foreign man on a zebra crossing at Phuket International Airport on October 15th, leaving the man unconscious with serious injuries, including a wound on his mouth. Witnesses, including an off-duty airport worker, provided assistance to the victim, though his condition has not been updated. The accident, involving an airport taxi with a green registration plate, sparked criticism online, with many questioning the driver's speed and lack of caution at the zebra crossing. Airport taxis have faced similar complaints before, with netizens expressing frustration over their driving behavior. Yeah, it's like, dude, you're in the airport. If you've been to the Phuket airport, you know, there's not a lot of places or chances to actually pick up speed. Not to mention this guy was in the crosswalk, the zebra crossing, where you are, you know, it's pretty sacred for pedestrians, especially foreigners who are coming from like Europe and America and other places where those crossings are respected. Like, I know in Thailand we tend to ignore them sometimes, so you have to be on your toes a little bit. But certainly at the airport, that's exactly the place where we need to be a little more careful. So yeah, questions about, definitely wasn't paying attention if he ran the dude over. And second of all, how fast was he going to strike this man in such a way to leave him unconscious with serious injuries? Hopefully we'll get an update on that, and hopefully the taxi driver will face some sort of punishment so that he can correct that behavior. All right, next we are back in Bangkok. Now, a vocational student brawl disrupted Bangkok commuters at Siam BTS. So a brawl between vocational students disrupted Bangkok commuters at Siam BTS station on the morning of October 16th, causing panic as passengers scrambled for safety. The fight broke out at around 8:30 a.m., a bit early for the heat to be running that hot, involving over 10 students before police intervened. Video circulating online showed the chaotic scene as an officer struggled to separate the students while commuters sought refuge. Despite the fight, regular train services continued, adding to the danger. Additional officers eventually arrived and detained the students. The Patumwan police station is investigating the incident further. Oh, come on, kids. At 8:30 in the morning, can you believe? Like, I guess it wasn't even a Monday. Come on. But, that's a bit too much. You would expect that kind of a brawl to happen after a night out with the boys, having some drinks. First thing in the morning. What a way to start your day. Getting arrested and ruining everybody else's commute. It's like, I mean, come on, dude. Riding public transport is tough enough. Do we need to make it any worse for ourselves? There's been a lot of stories, these kinds of stories between student groups of different schools or different cliques even, where the fists have been flying. So anyways, I don't know what's going on, but hopefully the government or some authorities can find a way to stem this violence. Like, yeah, I don't know. Shouldn't you be studying? How do people have the time to raise these kinds of rivalries? I don't know. I'm a lover, not a fighter. Moving on. All right. Pattaya authorities have denied claims of a Korean drug suspect's jail live stream. Anybody on jail talks? The Thai Department of Corrections has denied claims that a South Korean drug trafficking suspect live streamed from inside Pattaya Remand prison. The suspect, arrested on October 3rd in Chonburi, allegedly claimed he broadcasted from the prison, but authorities confirmed he was never detained there, and the cell shown in the video didn't match any of their facilities. The suspect, wanted for drug-related charges in South Korea, was apprehended by Thai authorities as part of a joint effort with South Korean agencies. Thai officials have revoked his visa and are preparing to deport him. Well, he live streamed from somewhere, didn't he? I think that's kind of a funny. We've got a finger pointing game going on within the correctional facilities. Look, it is known there are ways to possibly smuggle in electronic devices and things like that. That does not look good for the correctional authorities who are charged with, keeping them in line and keeping them certainly from live streaming their experiences from within the prison. A little bit of two minds about this. Like, I know, all right, drug trafficker, prison time, jail time. How bad should the prison time be? Like, if you go to, I've seen jokes about people online, Americans certainly. My retirement plan is going to prison in Denmark because the prisons look so nice and they seem so well taken care of. Meanwhile, the inside of a Thai prison, pretty notorious for not being very hospitable. So I guess that's the question exactly. What kind of state should prisons be in? What kind of rights do prisoners have? Do they have right to access the internet, entertainment? I have a feeling that, the more that is taken away from them, the more detrimental the time is, but also to their long-term rehabilitation as well. Is prison punishment, or should it be seen as more of a rehabilitative place? I'll let you guys decide, but funny story here with the authorities just pointing fingers at each other rather than getting to the bottom of where he actually is. Kind of funny. All right, now I got a funny one for you. Anybody got tattoos in the audience? And if you do, are they spelled right? A foreigner's tattoo mix-up has sparked laughter over a, quote, love, peace, and curry inking. A foreign man became the subject of a social media frenzy after showing off a Thai tattoo he believes said love, peace, and harmony. However, the Thai text actually translated to spicy green curry with chicken. The man, using the Reddit handle Thirsty Fridays, proudly shared his tattoo, but Thai users quickly corrected him, pointing out the culinary mix-up. Despite the blunder, he embraced the humor, recalling a spicy green curry meal he had had at a beachfront restaurant in Chonburi. So it still had some meaning. The Thai commenters noted that while the spelling was correct, the phrasing was also unusual for the dish. Poor fella. You gotta proofread your Thai tattoos before you go and get it inked on you forever. At the same time, here he is. He's got a little bit of internet fame as a result. And, this is so funny. I saw this Reddit post immediately when it came out, I think a day or two ago. And, the comments were instant. Like, ugh, sorry, bro. But, again, who knows? Maybe he was in on the joke and made it happen because it's such a stereotype that people get it done all the time with these, Chinese and Thai language tattoos, not knowing exactly what's happening. But at least he's embracing it, right? I think that's a good sport about the whole thing. But fair warning, everybody, if you are not fluent in Thai, make sure you have a trusted Thai friend proofreading the ink before it gets drawn. That's the end of our Thailand section of the news today, guys. We're going to move into the ASEAN section now. And our first story is the big one. So we've been keeping our eyes on this story coming out of Malaysia. And I have some updates about some arrests that have been made over the child abuse and trafficking allegations that have been rocking the nation over there. Now, Malaysian authorities have arrested hundreds more of suspects connected to the Islamic Global Ikhwan Group, or GISB, amid allegations of human trafficking and child abuse. The group gained international attention after police rescued 402 minors from 20 care homes in September. An initial 171 arrests included teachers and caretakers, but further investigations have led to more arrests, with charges related to forced labor and human trafficking. Authorities are also investigating the group's international operations with the help of Interpol. GISB operates businesses in 20 countries and has been linked to Al-Arqam, a banned religious sect in Malaysia. They are just pulling on these threads, man, and more stuff keeps falling out. So hundreds of people have been arrested in connection with this group right now. The company itself is it's a massive company, multinational, right, operating in 20 countries. That is the kind of stuff I don't know, things like the Catholic Church comes to mind. When you're able to operate and move people around between different areas, that gives you access to do all sorts of nefarious stuff. So I'm glad to hear that Interpol is working with the Malaysian authorities. Glad to hear that arrests are being made, right? Like we've heard of the Diddy scandal is still a little opaque in America. We haven't really heard any other names in connection to many people who were obviously aiding and abetting his nefarious behavior. So I'm glad to see the Malaysian authorities are cracking down on this and making examples of everybody involved, because this is as heinous a crime as can possibly exist. So we'll keep you updated on that. Glad to hear the children have been saved. Who knows how many more are still out there, and that arrests are being made so that this kind of operation can be shut down. And hopefully these people don't see the light of day again. All right, moving on. We got a crazy story coming out involving Singapore and India. Now, Singapore scrambled fighter jets after a bomb threat on an Air India flight. Just a threat. We're all okay. Singapore's Air Force scrambled 2 fighter jets on October 16th to escort Air India Express flight AXB 684 following a bomb threat. The flight was directed away from populated areas and safely landed at Changi Airport, where it was handed over to police. After security checks, no threat items were found. Singapore's defense systems were also activated in response. Excuse me. Investigations are ongoing, and authorities warned of serious consequences for causing public alarm. Air India noted that recent threats, including one affecting another flight bound for Chicago, were all hoaxes, but are treated seriously for safety. Well, that's annoying. This is one of the things where, we live in a world, right, a sort of post 9/11 world where these threats are taken seriously and should be, of course. But at the same time, all it takes is someone making the threat, right? It's not like they actually need to go through with anything or sneak something on. past security checkpoints, they can just say, hey, I did it. And all of a sudden, you've ruined a whole lot of days. You've wasted a whole lot of money. Hopefully, they get to the bottom of whoever was behind this hoax. Throw the book at them, because this kind of behavior is certainly not acceptable. Fortunately, it was just a hoax, and good to know that the defense systems were up and ready to be able to handle this threat, were it a real threat. But at the same time, God, what are we doing, guys? Like, isn't flying stressful enough? Anyways, glad to hear that the authorities were able to handle this situation and everybody was safe in the end. Okay, moving on, we're heading over to Taiwan. Now, a magnitude 5.2 earthquake has hit eastern Taiwan, although, again, no damage reported. A magnitude 5.2 earthquake struck off the coast of Hualien County, eastern Taiwan, at 9:58 p.m. Yesterday, October 16th, according to the Central Weather Administration. The epicenter was located 8.9 kilometers east-northeast of Hualien County Hall at a depth of 25 kilometers. The earthquake's intensity reached 3 on Taiwan's 7-tier scale in parts of Hualien, Yilan, and Nantou counties. There were no immediate reports of damage or injuries, although we should wait and see because this is still recent. Also, aftershocks could potentially be a problem over there. Taiwan, unfortunately, being rocked by a lot of biblical events lately, between the typhoon, now earthquakes. Hopefully everybody stays safe over there. Glad to know. You know, Taiwan is one of those countries that builds in anticipation of these kinds of events. If you're over there, you don't see too many high, tall skyscrapers. Even Taipei 101, obviously one of the highest in the world. They have that cool, like, big ball built into its infrastructure so that it can bend and sway when the earthquakes come and stay standing. So glad to know that they're very prepared for these kinds of events. Still don't wish it on them. So people in Taiwan, please be safe. All right, now our final story of the day is we got some bad parents coming out of China, guys. Let me know your thoughts on this one. A mother has endangered her own children in a viral video during a domestic dispute in China. Now, a viral video from Luoyang, China, shows a mother placing her 2 children on an air conditioning unit outside their 23rd floor apartment building during an argument with her husband. The children, without safety gear, were perched dangerously on the unit as their mother blocked the father from reaching them. Neighbors heard the frightened cries of the girl and quickly alerted authorities. Firefighters arrived and rescued the children. Outrage spread online, with many condemning the mother's actions. Authorities are investigating, though it's unclear if she will face legal consequences. This incident highlights growing concerns about child protection in China. Yeah, crazy, as everybody's saying in the comments. 23rd floor, could have easily, fallen off, died. I don't know. Parenting is stressful. Dealing with a spouse is stressful. Woo. Dealing with sneezes in the middle of a broadcast is stressful. But in any case, yeah, the kids are safe. Don't know what's going to happen to the mom. This is one of the problems with China, is that the system is very opaque, and it's unclear exactly how the judicial system operates, between all the way things up to the death penalty for who knows what kind of crimes, arresting for political things, re-education, that kind of stuff. In this case, this is just good old-fashioned child endangerment. So, again, not sure exactly what's going to happen or if we'll ever know. But the point is, this went viral, and that's what matters. When there's a whole lot of eyeballs on something and the cat's already out of the bag, that's when action tends to be taken in China. So we'll see. Because, yeah, that's the kind of incident where the kids could get taken away from their parents. And unfortunately, this family is going to be dealing with a very difficult time as a result of this incident. Thank you, guys, for the bless yous. Appreciate that. I don't know. Dusty in here. Allergies acting up heading into high season. All right. But yeah, that'll do it. I'll get into the comments in a second. Let me wrap up the show. Yeah, anyways, guys, that's our stories for the day. You can always go to Thaiger.com, Thaiger.com, for more news updates throughout the day. We post, 50, 60 articles. We're trying to keep you updated on everything. Also, head over to ASEANnow.com, sign up for an account over there, join the conversation, and yeah, I'll get into the comments now, but the rest of you I'll see on Friday.